The struggle for me too. Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please stand for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. So, in your handout that I'll be referring to, it kind of connects us to the V'ahavta, which is on page 154. From Rabbi Jonathan Sachs on the back, on the brink of the Exodus, that's from this week's Torah portion, Moses turns, it's like we're preparing for Purim, but we're already thinking about Passover. Okay, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, on the brink of the Exodus, Moses turns to the future and to the duty of parents to educate their children about the story that was shortly to unfold. In fact, he does so 3 times. When your children ask you, together, you shall answer, it is the Passover service to God. God passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and spared our homes. On that day you shall tell your child together, it is because of this that God, from when I left Egypt. Your child may later ask you, and you shall answer, with the show of power God brought us out of Egypt, the place of slavery. These passages have become famous because of their appearance in the Haggadah on Pesach. They are the 4 children, one wise, one wicked, one rebellious, one simple, and one who does not know how to ask. Together, reading them together, the sages came to the conclusion that 1, children should ask questions. 2, the Pesach narrative must be constructed in response to and begin with questions asked by a child. 3, it is the duty of the adult to encourage children to ask questions, and the child who does not yet know how to ask should be taught to ask. So we recognize that this is one of the foundational teachings of Judaism, to ask questions, right? So we'll continue with the blessing that tells us to love God with all our heart and to teach that to kids. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivdecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem Emet. So we continue on page 158. I'd like Annalisa and Mason to come up. I think with the mic, you just have to read very clearly. Okay.
If I could ask the right questions, I will be done. Some say spend 90% time asking questions and the remaining 10% in precise action. We forget all about asking the right questions.
Be at work, projects, research, or even a poem, the right questions will solve major problems. We have always been trained answering machines. Asking questions has rarely been our priority.
Have heard the one who asks questions is often the leader of the pack. He wants to know. The one who answers questions is being led. He will be asked more follow-up questions, no doubt.
Internet has all the answers that we ever needed. All we need is to ask the right question the right way. Do I have the right question to ask right now so that my life purpose becomes clear to me today?
My prayer now is power to question well. All I need to do is set my questioning skills right. Everything else will follow in graceful flow. Only thing, have courage to ask questions.
Where do you go to school?
Sacramento State.
And what are you studying?
I'm a double major. I study electrical engineering and music.
How about you?
I go to Sacramento State, and I'm a political science major.
Great. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Just so happy you're here. So let's continue. The intention, I think, for me, is about, in the world in which we live right now, to keep asking questions, to stay alert and connected. If you're asking questions, you are not sleeping. If you're asking questions, you have energy. Let's keep asking questions about the world that we live in, right? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, oseh fele. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea, singing songs of praise to thee. Who is like you, Adonai? The top. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, oseh fele. What do you notice about the first line of that prayer? It's a question. Good. Thank you. Let's turn to page 161 and 160. So we start on the 161 at the top, and then we go to the 2 lines or 3 lines on 160. So we start with 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Try that again. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. On the right side, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom. Next part. V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let's turn to page 162. Tishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat Sheshet yamim masa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat Shabbat vayinafash. So we open your hand out one more time, please. And on the left side, in the middle, starts with Isidore. Isidore Rabi, winner of a Nobel Prize in Physics, was once asked why he became a scientist. He replied, "My mother made me a scientist without ever knowing it. Every other child, I would come home back from school and be asked, 'What did you learn today?' But my mother used to ask, 'Izzy, did you ask a good question today?' That made the difference. Asking good questions made me a scientist." So we stand, page 164, and it's a repeat after me. We'll do it one time. Adonai, Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid, Ufi yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid, Tehilatecha, Tehilatecha. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yavam, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibur Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiv Haruach U'Morid Hagashem, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, U'Midom Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMetim. Kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Let's read the questions on page 171. Where might I go to find you, exalted hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Let's take a few moments of our own prayers, perhaps the words in the Siddur. And when you're done, have a seat quietly. want to acknowledge the beginning of a new month of Shabbat, and it's on the words for that prayer of welcoming a new month are on page 174. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this first day of the month of Shabbat, be mindful of us and all your people Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life and peace. Remember us for well-being, visit us with blessing, help us to a fuller life. Amen. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amecha Yisrael, u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel, u'tahi l'ratzon, tamid avodat Yisrael, Yisrael, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, she'ohatecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod, na'avod, na'avod. We gather the blessings, the green lights, the kindness, the peace that has rolled in this past week as gratitude. So just take a few moments to think about the blessings, stuff that has happened to you and with you in this last week. Please remember that every breath is a gift. Page 177, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Please be seated. Page 180. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel, v'yimeru, amen. So there was a time where somebody asked a question, when we're praying for peace, do we only ask for prayers for Israel? And the answer came out in creating an additional line to this prayer, where it says, which I know threw you off, but that's okay, me too. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu